What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Sunday edition. It is April 20th. Blaze it. Let's go. If you've never been here before, we do things a little bit differently. So we go through every single game that we have. We look at the pitchers. We look at the batters. We look at history. We look at pitcher handedness. We look at the batter, how they do against that handedness. We look at everything. So if you want to look at splits, you want to look at all of that, you have come to the right place. If you're just looking for a handful of picks at each position, we do have that part of FTA Plus, which you can sign up for right here. Under the FTA Plus button, it is $10 a week, $30 for a month. It's $1 a day. It is $199 for a year. We still have one pass left. First person that emails me can get it $100 off. dfshelp1@gmail.com. And finally, $200 if we get to that, but $500 for a lifetime pass. But we try to have a giveaway every single day, and here's how we do it. If these videos get these views by the main slate lock, so main slate locks at noon central, give or take, I think 12:30. Here's the first way to win. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on this video. If you do that and this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. That's a week of all sports. So for next week, that'll include MLB, NBA, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a shot at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a shot at a lifetime pass worth $500. Second way to win. Somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Be on the lookout for it. Type it in and have your second shot at a free week. So we are going to see who the two winners from yesterday's video are. As of the making of this video, we have, let's see, I think we just missed out on 100 likes. We have, maybe, 97 likes. So we almost had that 100 like, but we did not. So what we're going to do, even if the keyword is in this first phrase, it is still going to be only for the free week of FTA Plus due to that. So there you go. Jackie Treehorn, congratulations. Please email me. I'm not sure if you have an account on the site. If you do not, email me with a subject line 420 or 419 video views winner or something like that. Let me know if you have an account. If you do not, I'll need a username, email, and a password. We'll set you up for your free week of FTA Plus. Now, the key phrase from yesterday was headphones, so we are going to re-roll it. So you still have a 1 in 34 shot to be the winner again. It randomly picks it, and we will see if it picks your name yet again. There you go, Craig Carpenter. Congratulations, you have also won. The email is in the description, but down below you can find it, dfshelp1@gmail.com. But let me know your username, email, and password, and we will set you guys up if you do not already have them. So like I said, it's a Sunday. We've got a main slate that locks at around noon or 1 Eastern, normal Sunday slate. Then we have a couple of afternoon games we will cover, and then that is it. We have NBA today, so we had a huge day yesterday. You guys killed it with the views on the NBA video. Super excited. That's the most NBA views we've had in a long time. And we are going to bring you guys, hopefully, help you bring home the bacon in both of those sports. So both NASCAR and NASCAR and MMA had the weekend off. We should be back rocking and rolling throughout the day. So buckle up, knuckleheads. Let's get into it. At the end of the video, after we go through the games, we are going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations. So we do 20,000 simulations a day. We're going to do 10,000. We've already ran them, and we'll show you all the batters that have a fantastic matchup. If you want to see all the matchups, it's under the matchup tool right here, which you can find for FTA Plus. After that, we're going to give you guys the Pitches Be Crazy, which is the top 5 pitchers on the slate that have the best matchups against teams that strike out the most. And then the new segment we've tried, and I want to know if you guys have been using it to bet, but we're going to call it Bacon Bits. Bacon Bets. Something like that. Little bacon bets here. What are we talking about? We want to bring home the bacon. And by bacon, we mean money. And by money, we mean bets. And that is how it works. So that being said, looking at just kind of the ballpark factors, there's none that jump out to us right now. The worst ballparks right now for any sort of home runs, Fenway Park at minus 41%. You got Comerica Park at minus 41%. You got Wrigley at minus 37%. As of the making of this video, it might be a low day for home runs. Maybe you look for like 2+ bases in the bets, but the home runs thing, not looking too good right now. Now, that can change at any time, but I just wanted to bring that up. So we look at the first game, Minnesota at Atlanta. is what we've got going on. So we're going to use Outlier, which I love. If you guys haven't used it before, definitely make sure to jump in there and kind of give it a look if you have not. The link to sign up will be down below. I believe you get a free month on top of if you sign up. I cannot remember what it is, but I wanted to bring this to you. So we've got Grant Holmes versus Joe Ryan. Now, the Braves are just a bad team overall this year, but Minnesota's not been as ideal. But Joe Ryan comes in, 2.46 ERA, 2 really good starts in a row after a couple of small, lackluster starts at his price. Brings it in, so he's had 2 games on the road, 2 games at home, and now he's on the road again. His away ERA is 0.75, so that's always something we want to take into put it in the back of your mind how their splits go as well. So Joe Ryan, I would use him. Grant Holmes comes in with a 3.78 ERA. I don't trust how greasy his hair is and how gross that mustache is. I don't trust him. Good start against Toronto, good start against Philly. The way as how bad Minnie's been, I mean, the first 3 starts he didn't get past 4 innings. Toronto, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 7.2 innings pitched, those are fantastic numbers there. If he could go 6 innings at 6,600, that's exactly the kind of, that would be what I look at. And if we look at that, I'm okay with Grant Holmes for tournaments because he is so cheap. Now, what we're looking for here in baseball with pitchers, at least on DraftKings, you're looking for about 2 to 2.5 times value, meaning we need at least 13 to 16 range, which he's hit that the last 2 starts. Those teams are technically, they do hit better than Toronto, or they hit better than Atlanta, or Minnesota, I should say. But you never know what you're going to get out of him. Only 1 start, his final start, has been really good. So cheap, though, that it makes sense. But if you want to dig in and look at these, Grant Holmes has not faced Minnesota this year. Overall, I mean, basically 1 start being out of the bullpen. Jonah Bride does have a home run. Just got traded from Miami. I don't know if he'll be in there to start. That's something to look at. But what I like, and we've talked about this in the past, but if you look at over here, these are how these batters have done against right-handed pitching or the handedness of the pitcher this year. So you always want to look at it. So this is how it's a little bit different than other breakdowns. We're going to look at the bats that make sense. So Ryan Jeffers, if he gets the start, batting 303 against right-handed pitching this year. No home runs, but 737 OPS. Ty France, 2 home runs this year, 286 batting average against righties. Harrison Bader, usually I used to like to take him against lefties, but he's hitting 324 this year with 3 bombs against right-handed pitching. I don't know if he'll be in, but that's definitely one I'd look at. Byron Buxton, as long as he's healthy, we want to take him. Edward Julian, 279 batting average, 1 home run. Willie Castro has a home run. These are the ones that I would look at if I were to take Minnesota as a stack. Now, Atlanta bats really, Austin Riley's 2 for 2 with a home run, and Michael Harris the second, 1 for 2 with a home run. Alex Verdugo batting 300, so 3 for 10 with a home run against Joe Ryan. As you can see, they do hit righties better. But overall, Atlanta's been bad this year. I will have exposure to Joe Ryan for cash and tournaments. I think Grant Holmes is more tournament. If I look at Atlanta bats, I would look at Ozuna. I would look at Sean Murphy a little bit. Maybe Austin Riley and Verdugo. But to be completely honest with you, I am probably more so looking at Joe Ryan over the Atlanta bats. We jump into the next game. Cincy at Baltimore is up on the dock. You got Charlie Morton versus Carson Spears. So Morton comes in, 8.84 ERA. We did stack Cleveland against him last start, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. So he did have 10 strikeouts against Boston. It's kind of the same thing. I do not trust him. He has 19 Ks in 4 starts. He's got an 8.84 ERA. We look at his splits. He's pitching at home. He has a 9 ERA at home. I'm all over Cincy bats. I want nothing to do with him. Then you got Carson Spears here, 4.82 ERA. I'm not using him either. He's had 1 good start, 1 bad start going up against Baltimore. If I were to look at this game, I'm 100% stacking. Just looking at the wind is blowing in, though, at the moment. Now, it could change, but the wind is blowing in. So if I were to take these bats against him, no one has a home run, but against right-handed pitching this year, I'm all over Jose Trevino. Again, so this is Sunday, and this is the day of rest for catchers. Usually, I can see Trevino coming in and starting. So he's got 346 batting average and 1 home run against right-handed pitching this year. I would look at Ellie De La Cruz, who's got 2 bombs. I would look at Matt McLain with 2 bombs. Austin Hayes with 2 bombs. Those are the ones that I'd be looking at. You could look at Spencer Steer. He's only batting 171, though. If you're trying to find a 5-man stack, Candelario only batting 130. I don't know. Gavin Lux, 333 batting average. No home runs, but he can get you on. If he gets on base, he could steal. 824 OPS as well. So these numbers are high. I do love a Cincy stack here. There's no world that I see myself using Charlie Morton. Baltimore against Spears, never seen him before, or Spires. Overall, though, they don't hit righties as much, but if I were to take some batters, I am looking at Gunnar Henderson. I would look at Adley Rutschman. Kierstad, I would look at Tyler O'Neill. He did let us down with home runs yesterday, but that's no big deal. Jordan Westberg, not batting much, but I would look at him. I'd also look at a little bit of Ryan O'Hearn. So I will have exposure to this game. The wind and blowing in kind of sucks, but if we look at like doubles and extra base hits, we are okay. We just need positive fantasy points, and I think a stack on both sides makes sense. I want nothing to do with the pitching in this one. I don't trust either of those pitchers. They could have a good game, and I don't care. There are other pitchers on this slate. That is exactly what I would look at. So the next game, we got Tanner Houck versus Sean Burke. Now, Tanner Houck, I believe, just got rocked by them? No, by Tampa Bay. They just let him out. Tanner Houck, minus 22 fantasy points against Tampa Bay. 2.1 innings. This game is in Fenway. The wind, again, it's the tied for the worst odds for home runs, but does have an explosion, 21% for doubles or triples. Tanner Houck, I know he's facing the White Sox, but his confidence is probably pretty down. He has not hit value in any of the starts prior to that. So regardless of seeing what he did against Tampa Bay, he had 2.8 against Texas. He had 10.2 against Baltimore and 12.8 against Toronto. Still didn't hit the 2 times value. It is the White Sox. I get that. Just because it's the White Sox, maybe we throw them in tournaments, but I don't see myself using Tanner Houck whatsoever. Sean Burke for tournaments at 5,300, I am okay with. He did not face Boston, but Boston does strike out the 5th most out of any team, so you could get some there. The problem is he only has 10 strikeouts in 4 starts. He has not gone over 5 innings since his opening day start against the Angels, where he had only 3 strikeouts. That's the only problem. Like Sean Burke for strikeouts, really not looking much. 7.56 ERA. I'm probably fading. I'm probably looking at Boston bats over anything here. So if we look at those bats, that even makes sense. Rafi Devers had a home run for us yesterday. I would look at him. I would look at Jarren Duran. Again, Friday, it's Sunday, so we don't know who's going to be sitting. They've never seen Sean Burke before, but Alex Bregman's got 4 bombs, 344 batting average against right-handed pitching. Wilyer Abreu with 3 bombs, 321. Christian Campbell, 333 with 3 bombs. Like, they hit righties better. I'm looking at a Boston stack. It'll just depend on the lineup that comes out. It'll be today feels like one of those Boston stacks where you might take multiple different stacks. And what I mean by that is you want Boston, but you can't fit everyone in there in one lineup. So we look at that. So Bregman makes sense. Devers makes sense. Campbell, Duran, Ref Snyder, Wilyer Abreu, Trevor Story. Like, make multiple different Boston stacks today. That is where I'd go in this game. White Sox bats against Tanner Houck. Andrew Vaughn has a home run. I would look at him. Overall, though, I mean, you could look at Baldwin, Benintendi against his former team in the ballpark. You could look at Michael A. Taylor batting 294. Usually we take him against lefties, but if Tanner Houck is in his mind that he's not a good pitcher, I could see this. So I think a sneaky stack that I don't think very many people will be on are the White Sox today. Benintendi, Michael Taylor, Andrew Vaughn, Baldwin would be a cheap option. Maybe Matt Thaiss, however you say his name, Lennon Sosa, you could look at. I don't know how much exposure I'll have to it. I think I'd rather have more exposure to Boston, but I will have exposure to the game, just not in the pitching aspect. So Miami at Philly is the next game. The Jesus Lizard versus Connor Gillespie. I would not use Gillespie. He's got a 6.63 ERA. I would be all over Jesus Luzardo. 2.31 ERA, 29 strikeouts. His lowest amount of strikeouts was against San Francisco, his last start. We look at his splits. He's got 2 at home, 2 on the road. His home splits are better. Has not faced Miami this year, but we can look at how he's done in the past against Miami. So looking at these just depends on what you're looking for, but I would stack Philly just like we did yesterday and the day before, and I would stack the Philly pitcher. So Miami against Luzardo, they've never seen him before. This is his here's the only thing. This is his former team. So I always, in my mind, I think about he was on this team. He was with these coaches. He was with some of these players, not many. Scouting department, if they're the same. They know what he wants to throw, but this team's so bad, I don't know if I'd use him. But if you want to go with that aspect of maybe they know what he's going to throw because he was with the team before, you could look at maybe a weird stack that people might not be on, but you could look at Myers. You could look at Griffin Conine. You could look at Wagaman, Pauly, Matt Mervis, Otto Lopez. You could look at these guys like a one-off. So if you make multiple different lineups, a Miami stack could make sense just because they might know what he's going to throw, but I'm probably on Jesus Luzardo over Miami. Philly bats against Gillespie. Never seen him before. I'm still looking at Real Muto. I'm still looking at Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott leading off. I love that. If he continues to do that, I would use him. Max Kepler's another one that I would look at. I want an exposure to Philly. Philly makes sense as if we're doing like multiple different stacks. So Boston was like multiple different stacks. Philly makes a ton of sense. Like these are the ones that I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm not really on Miami outside of that one-off in case, hey, we know this guy what he pitches. Let's go that direction. Cleveland at Pittsburgh is the next game. So we have we've got Mitch Keller versus Logan Allen. Now, we've stacked against both of these pitchers this year. Mitch Keller, 4.30 ERA. Did have a good start against St. Louis, but we did stack Washington against him. 8.1 is not enough. Bad start against the Yankees. Good start against Miami. Really good start against St. Louis. But Cleveland, they can hit. I would not be on Mitch Keller. Logan Allen, we did stack against him. Baltimore, and it did not work out. He dominated them. 5.2 innings, 6 strikeouts, 26.4 fantasy points. He was 6,300, and for whatever reason, they dropped him down to 5,600. I would have exposure to him. 5,600 is asinine price. Like, he did not have a good start against San Diego, but he's had 2 good starts that would be over almost 3 times value, and over like almost 5 times value. I don't know why they dropped his price down. That doesn't make sense to me. So let's take that discrepancy of the price drop and use him. I don't know if they know something that we don't. I would use Logan Allen. I don't know what's going on with that price. Mitch Keller, I don't want anything to do with. If I would be looking at Cleveland bats, Manzardo has had 2 home runs against him. He's been pretty good when we've used him. I would look at him. I would look at Gabriel Arias, batting 286 with 3 bombs against righties this year. I would look at Stephen Kwan. He's hitting home runs or stealing bases or doing both in those games. I want all the exposure to him. Jose Ramirez, only batting 205 though against righties. I'd rather take him against lefty until he proves otherwise. So you could go cheaper with like a Brian Roquillo, or maybe even a Lane Thomas. If he gets in there, we can definitely find that out. So that's what I'm looking at. Logan Allen against the Pittsburgh Pirates. No one's had success. They really aren't. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Logan Allen for sure. Now, I'll let you guys know right now, if you are new to the channel, I am wrong sometimes. I'll let you know that. I'm all in on Logan Allen and Cleveland in this game. I just don't understand that price. It's a weird, is it a trap? I don't know if it's a trap. I don't know. So we moved Seattle at Toronto. You got Luis Castillo versus Easton Lucas. So Castillo comes in, 4.22 ERA. So his ERA is a little bit higher. Coming off a bad start against his former team. So when we did yesterday's video, he was scheduled. Then it moved around for whatever reasons going on. Against Toronto, he hasn't faced them this year. On the road in one start, he's got a 12.46 ERA. That was in Cincinnati. So that is a ballpark where the ball flies out of there. Luis Castillo, 8,600. I don't know. I don't know if he's too expensive for this price. You got Easton Lucas here, 4.70 ERA, coming off a bad start against Atlanta. So both of these pitchers are coming off terrible starts, negative fantasy point starts. So if we look if they faced each other before, That is where we can kind of feel. And since we do have Sunday night, and we're going to do the Sunday night tradition, what we did with with football, we are going to break down the Sunday night baseball game. I'm going to have a video, just a separate video on that, so definitely pay attention to that. I'm also going to have an NBA video. So if you guys want to help out the channel, if you can't afford to sign up for FTA Plus, but you want to support us, you can always watch the entirety of this video, get that watch time up for us. Click the ads. I know they're annoying, but they help out more than you know. As of right now, April 20th, we've made more in ad revenue here on YouTube than we did in the entire month of March. We've already surpassed the entire month of March. With 10 more days to go, I would love for you guys to help us out. Any little bit helps. Any little bit helps us out, this channel. The more money we get back, I dump into the channel. I'm the only one doing the videos, so it is very helpful. I know the videos are long. I know this is not a rant, but I'm just going on. Watch the entire video, click the ads, click like on it, and maybe watch the video a couple times in the background just so the playtime helps us out. Help us with the algorithm. That would be amazing. So we do have Seattle Bats against Easton Lucas. Basically one bullpen kind of game type thing. Cal Raleigh, nothing much there. GP Crawford 1 for 1. You can see, though, they don't hit lefties very well. Cal Raleigh batting .231 with 2 bombs. He does hit lefties. Dylan Moore's batting Dylan Moore might be a one-off, batting .400. Randy Arozarena I would look at. I don't know if I would stack Seattle, but those would be the bats that I'd look at. Maybe a Cal Raleigh, Dylan Moore, cheap option. 1.574 OPS against lefties. He's just killing lefties right now. Williamson, Arozarena, maybe Luke Raley. I don't know about Luke Raley. And then Toronto bats against Castillo, like Alejandro Kirk has a home run, Andres Jimenez has a home run, Santander has a home run. Against right-handed pitching, Bo Bichette batting .314, Vladdy batting .281 or .288, Rodon batting .295, Springer batting .390. Now, we know that Castillo has great stuff when he is on. He just doesn't look on to start the season. Whether or not that is going to change, that's something to look at. You could look at a Toronto stack. I'd be okay with that today. Next game we've got on the docket here. All these games early sound weird. You got the Yankees at Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay's bullpen, not so good. Yankees were all over that game until Devin Williams came in on Saturday and gave up, I think, 4 runs in the 9th, and then they got walked off. We've got Max Fried versus Ryan Pepiot. So Fried has had 2 good starts in a row, I believe. 3 good starts in a row. Kansas City, 6.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks. Detroit, 7 innings, 11 Ks. Tampa Bay's not as good of a team. Pitching away, he's got a .71 on the road. He's been dominant. He's had everything that he needs. I love his price. I would pay up for him against this Tampa Bay team. Pepiot, on the other hand, we did use him against Boston his last start. He did give us 8 Ks. I don't think we used him in DFS, but we did use him for sports betting. We did use him for Pitches Be Crazy segment because Boston strikes out a ton. I do believe I said use him for sports betting because he's still shaky. I think it's the same thing. Gave up 6 earned runs against Boston, gave up 3 against the Angels. Hasn't really done much, 4.91 ERA. That doesn't give me any confidence in him. I'd probably stack the Yankees just like we did yesterday. The Yankees bullpen just been, not the bullpen, but like Devin Williams, I don't know what's going on with him. I'm going to say he's hurt or something. He's pitching through it. Makes no sense. Pepiot against the Yankees, 1 start, basically. That's it. I would still use, like, Aaron Judge. I would use Aaron Judge. I would use Jason Dominguez. I would use Trent Grisham. If Ben Rice is back in this lineup, I would use him, but he did leave getting hit on the elbow. I don't know. When I'm filming this, I don't know if any results have come through. They might just give him the day of rest because it's Sunday, and it's a problem. But, again, if he's in, he's got some great numbers. I would use him. I would look at Goldie. Goldie's been absolute, especially leading off. I would use Goldie there. And then Escara. I could see J.C. Escara starting this game. I would use him. A tournament option, not much outside of there. Tampa Bay against Fried, they really haven't seen him. Against left-handed pitching, it's so-so. I would still use Max Fried. I'm through 10,000 simulations, what I can see on this screen, I wouldn't be using I'm not using Pepiot, and I'm not using Tampa Bay bats. I would use Fried and the Yankees bats. Kansas City at Detroit, we've got Tariq Skubal versus Michael Wacha. So obviously being in the same division, they see each other. He has not faced them this year, but he's coming off a fantastic start against Milwaukee, a fantastic start against the Yankees. So-so start for his price against Seattle. But again, being in the same division, I would like this game a little bit more if it were in Kansas City just because it's more of a pitcher's park. Looking at the ballpark here for the weather. Oh, yeah, it's the worst for runs and worst for home runs. So, yeah, give me all the pitching in this one. Skubal against Kansas City. Like, Salvador Perez has his number, 4 home runs against him. Left-handed pitching, I mean, they haven't seen much. Sal Perez has been. So I'm on Skubal, but if you want to fade him because he is so expensive and I think people will be on him, I'm okay going down to Max Fried. And if you want to look at a Kansas City stack, maybe Maikel Garcia, Sal Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., Jonathan India, Mark Canha. Usually we take Mark Canha against lefties, but again, the weather here could be a low-scoring game. Then you got Michael Wacha. We look at Waka Flocka Flame here. 6,300. I mean, Skubal is 11,000. That is wild. 4.36 ERA. We have not used him. We use the Yankees against him. The strikeouts are low. Yeah. Detroit bats, I'm okay with it. But again, I don't know how many runs are going to be in this game. If I were to use anybody, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, McKinstry, Colt Keith, I'm okay with that. But I think this game, I'm probably just looking at Tariq Skubal and not worried about the offense, unless the weather changes. But right now, it does not look good for a ton of runs. St. Louis at the Mets, you got Sonny Gray versus Clay Holmes. So Sonny Gray, as of 10,000 simulations, has the most projected strikeouts right now against this Mets team. And it's a pitcher's park. 3.13 ERA, 3-0 record, 23 strikeouts. We used him against Houston. He got us the best start of his life. And by that, I mean this year. So we look at that. And yeah, I would look at Sonny Gray against the Mets team. Clay Holmes, I don't know what to expect out of him. He's had 2 really good starts in a row. One against Minnesota, one against Miami. Gets a St. Louis team that obviously he used to be with Pittsburgh. So maybe seen him a little bit. I'm very curious if anyone on this St. Louis team was even on the team when he was with, let's see. Yeah, I mean, Arenado, 2 for 4. Wilson Contreras, 2 for 5. Or 1 for 5. That's it. Against right-handed pitching this year, though, St. Louis has been pretty good. So if we look at the weather in this ballpark, the weather here is blowing in. You still have like Burleson batting 278. Brendan Donovan was dominant for us, batting 418. Thomas Sagasi batting 467. Newt Bar. I mean, they hit righties better. If this is a game for Clay Holmes to implode, it would be this one. I am okay with the St. Louis stack. Sonny Gray, I mean, you got Marte as a home run against him. Lindor has 2. Soto and Tyrone Taylor have 1. Against right-handed pitching, like, they've been decent. I could see you stacking this game, but with the weather, that scares me a little bit as well. I don't think I'll have any Clay Holmes. I will have Sonny Gray, though. A little bit. There's just other pitchers I do like a little bit better. So looking at this, we've got Athletics at Milwaukee Brewers. You've got Jeffrey Springs versus Logan Henderson. Getting recalled. Top pitching prospects could be in line to make a start. Yeah, so this is probably Elvin Rodriguez's spot in the lineup. He's 6,700, so I'm okay with tournaments because, again, we like to take pitchers that have never seen the team before. I don't know if he'll be in there. Jeffrey Springs comes in, 4.50 ERA, 3-1 record. Hasn't hit value since his first start against Seattle. Now he goes up against a Milwaukee team. I don't know what to expect out of this game. So we look at that, and they're not even on here. Okay. So it's because it's not confirmed yet to be Logan Anderson or Henderson. If it is Henderson, in fact, is in Henderson, I would use him. But we can't really cover this game because it's not confirmed as of the making of this video. Jeffrey Springs, I'm probably not using. I'd probably look at like a Rhys Hoskins. I would look at Christian Yelich. I would look at William Contreras if he plays. Again, it is a Sunday. Catchers usually sit on Sundays. So it's definitely one. But we don't have to worry about the weather in this one. Arizona, Chicago, we do have some weather to worry about. Looking at this game, wind is blowing directly in, just like it was on Saturday, unlike Sunday. So we got Merrill Kelly versus Jameson Taillon. So Kelly comes in, 5.57 ERA, really good start against Miami, 6 innings, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 1 earned run. Against the Yankees, he gave up 9 earned runs. Baltimore gave up 2 earned runs. So he's had like 2 good starts, 1 really bad start, and 1 middle-of-the-road start. In this ballpark, the way Chicago's been hitting, if they just dink and dunk through him, if the game gets played, I don't think I like Merrill Kelly. Jameson Taillon, 5.50 or 5.40 ERA, kind of the same thing. He faced this Arizona team to start the season, minus 5.7. That was in Arizona, gave up 6 earned runs. I'm off of the pitching here. I know that the bats aren't looking good. Offensively, it's projected at the moment to be the lowest scoring game. So I don't know if I'll have any exposure to this game. But if I do, and we're looking at bats, Corbin Carroll, I would look at Corbin Carroll against Taillon. Eugenio Suarez has 4 home runs against him. I would look at him. And you can see that, Josh Naylor I would look at. Suarez I would look at. Carroll I would look at. Pavin Smith, if he gets in there, I'm definitely looking at him. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. Chicago bats against Kelly. No one has a home run. Oh, Michael Busch has 1, but he's batting .250. But they do hit well, so I would look at Michael Busch. Carson Kelly is on an absolute tear right now, batting .480 against right-handed pitching. I fully expect him to be starting this game. Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ. The fact that I think a lot of people will be off of this game because of what the weather looks like. Maybe we pivot to this game because the ownership will be so low and it might come through for us, just like we saw on Friday with 18 runs being scored between the two teams in the 8th inning alone. I'd be looking at that. Be sneaky here. Maybe this one kind of feels like maybe a Cubs stack where we tried a couple of different stacks in that one. Dodgers at the Rangers got Tyler Glasnow versus Tyler Mahle. Glasnow coming in. Did not do well against Philly. Gave up 5 earned runs. We used him in that start. Cubs game at his price really didn't do much. 20.5 fantasy points. But at his price, that's just basically breaking even at 2 times value. I believe that was the Sunday night game. 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, a walk, struck out 7. He had a good start there. But the runs are, he probably was looking at 25, 28 fantasy points had he not given up any runs or walk. I think both of those home runs were Pete Crow Armstrong, right? Or no, Michael Busch and Pete Crow Armstrong. A bad start against Philly and a really good start against Atlanta. Now he goes up against a Texas team. When he's pitching at home, he's got a 164. When he's pitching on the road, which is only 1 start, 22.5. So this is where you kind of need at least 12 to 13 starts to kind of get a feel for how splits actually work. Tyler Mahle comes into this one. We did not use him against the Angels, or we did use him against the Angels. 6 innings, 2 walks, 9 Ks. He's been really good here, but he's going up against a Dodgers team that they're obviously good. But they have been shut out and they have been held low runs some of these games. That's what's weird. I don't know if Ohtani's going to be back or maybe he misses this. This is should be his 3rd game he missed. So I think with paternity they missed 3 and they'll back. So Ohtani's out of this lineup most likely. So you look at this. Against Tyler Mahle, Will Smith has faced him, 1 home run. Freddie Freeman has a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, look at this green. They absolutely smash right-handed pitching. That's what scares me. They all hit better against righties than lefties, except for Teoscar Hernandez. And Austin Barnes is batting .063 against right-handed pitching, and that is better than what he is doing against left-handed pitching, which tells me he's batting like what? What is his batting average? .59. He has not been ideal. Basically, the only two players that I might not use here are Barnes and Teoscar Hernandez. Outside of that, I think everyone else is in play for the Dodgers. Texas bats against Glass now. You got Marcus Semien with 2 home runs. You got Leota Taveras with a home run. Against right-handed pitching, Seager facing his former team. Maybe we see that. Some fireworks out of him, 372, 2 bombs. Josh Young, 1 home run, 367. Harris, 364. Adolis Garcia has 3 home runs. I think people will be on Glass now, but his price, I might fade him and be sneaky and go with a Texas stack here. I'd be okay with that. I think I'm probably fading both pitchers, though, and just going, for sure, going the bats overall. So that is the main slate covered. Now we have a 2-game afternoon slate, and that is it. Washington at Colorado and San Francisco at the Angels. You got Kikuchi, Justin Verlander, and then you got Jake Irvin versus Kyle Freeland. They put up a ton of runs in Coors Field on Saturday. The wind here for the first game, so they've got this game going, and then they have a game at night to make up, I believe, the Friday game that got rained out. We used Kikuchi in the last start. Was it Monday or Tuesday? He good. 6 innings, 6 Ks, 20.5. Had his best start of the year. He's now going up against San Francisco. I don't really know what to expect out of him. Early simulations has Kikuchi 8th best pitcher for strikeouts. That's 10,000 simulations, though. And like I say, check about an hour or two before first pitch, and we'll have updated simulations for any given start. Matt Chapman does hit lefties better. Tyler Fitzgerald has a home run. You got Elliot Ramos has a home run. Kikuchi for tournaments, I'm okay with, but I do like San Francisco bats here. I would look at Chapman, Fitzgerald. I would look at Jung-Ho Lee. Lefty-on-lefty matchup does not matter. Elliot Ramos, I am okay with. Angels bats against Verlander. I don't know what to expect out of Verlander. He comes in 6.75 ERA. He's had one good start, one okay start against Cincy, nothing against Philly, and then -1 against Seattle. Going into this game, I think it's time for him to hang it up. I think it is. So we look at that. Verlander, no one has a home run against him, but they're doing decent. And then against right-handed pitching, Jorge Soler batting .316 this year. Nolan Schanuel batting .304. Taylor Ward batting .250, but has 5 bombs. Mike Trout has 6 home runs against righties. Logan O'Hoppy's one I'd look at. I think I'm stacking against him. Kyron Paris batting .297 against righties. I don't trust Verlander. To be honest with you guys, I'm probably not playing this 2-game slate here. I'm just not. And then if I were to do anything, it'd be sports betting. And it would be Washington bats against Freeland for sure. James Wood. If you just want to look at him real quick, just to get him done. Just to get this out of the way. The over-under is 10 in this game. Washington, 1.5 point favorite right now. Against Freeland, no one has a home run, but against left-handed pitching this year, they don't really. Alex Call, 357. James Wood, 276 with 3 bombs. Ahmed Rosario, we usually take against lefties, would be a cheap option. Jacob Young could be a cheap option. Keibert Ruiz would be another one. I just don't see myself on Freeland whatsoever. We look at his numbers, 4.88 ERA. One good start to start the season, and then it's just progressively gotten worse since then. One game has been at home, and the thing is, his home ERA is 7.11, gave up 5 earned runs in that game against Milwaukee, but it had 5 strikeouts, so it evened it out a little bit, and that's why you see 8.9. He's 6,000, so you could always throw him in there because he's cheap, but again, I'm not playing this slate. I'm not really interested in Colorado bats either. I would look at Jake Irvin for strikeouts because he does make pitches be crazy. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of all the available games with the main slate and then the 2-game afternoon slate. And now we are going to do all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Now, these are through 10,000 simulations. These can and will update. It will be under the MLB tab and the matchup tool. So here we go. Not as many as yesterday. I think we had, 33 yesterday, and our record's 34. But we do have some. Number 1 is Alex Call. Number 2 is Jose Ramirez. 3 is James Wood. 4 is Aaron Judge. 5 is Steven Kwan. 6 is Julio Rodriguez. 7, Carlos Santana. 8, Josh Bell. 9, Nate Lowe. 10, Vladdy. 11, Brenton Doyle. 12, Luis Garcia. 13, Nasim Nunez. 14, Cabret Ruiz. 15, Logan O'Hoppe. 16, Tyler Soderstrom. 17, Ke'Bryan Hayes. 18, Joey Bart. I don't know if he'll start. 19, Jorge Soler. 20, Kyle Tucker. 21, Yordan Alvarez. 22, Luis Ariz. 23, Spencer Steer. 24, Andrew McCutchen. 25, Tommy Pham. 26, Ezekiel Tovar. 27, Nolan Schanuel. 28, Eugenio Suarez. 29, Kyle Farmer. And 30, Emmanuel Valdez. So we do have 30. Through 10,000 simulations, that's not bad. Can and will change a little bit, but those are the early ones, so definitely check that out a little bit later on. And what are we calling this? Bacon Bits, Bacon Bets, something like that for our sports betting. So we're going to do a few batters that have a chance at over 1.5 bases. So I'll put some bets into our free Discord, which the link is down below in the description. You can find all of their information down there. So right now, Brenton Doyle against Jake Irvin is number 1. And we look at that. He's only averaging 1.75, though. That's the problem. Like, there's not a ton that make a ton of sense today. So be cautious on this one. Through 10,000 simulations, there's not a ton that I love as much as I did yesterday, which a lot of them hit yesterday. We've got Jose Ramirez against Mitch Keller for over 2.5 or over 1.5 bases. Ahmed Rosario versus Kyle Freeland. Vlad Guerrero Jr. versus Luis Castillo. Jarren Duran versus Sean Burke. Rafi Devers versus Sean Burke. Steven Kwan versus Mitch Keller. And then we have Ke'Bryan Hayes versus Logan Allen. These have great matchups, over 1.5 bases. If you want to parlay them together, you can. I don't know what the odds are there. So if you want to check those out, we'll talk about some of them in our Discord, and we'll go through stuff back and forth there. So that is what I've got in this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. If you're still sticking around, the key phrase of the day is Easter. Hopefully you guys have a great Easter if you guys celebrate it or whatever we want to do. Let's have a great Sunday. We will be back. We'll have NBA content for you, MLB content, which we're already talking about. This week we'll have, I believe we have PGA again, but I know we do have MMA and NASCAR being back. Let me double check to make sure there is PGA. Sometimes they take a little bit of a break. Not like, I was very surprised to see both NASCAR and MMA take it off. But looking at that, you've got, April 24th will put us at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. So we'll have PGA for you. If you have any questions, get those down below. If you want to support the channel, we do have a link to donate for, if we got we got Venmo, PayPal, and CashApp if you guys want to do that. If you want to support the channel without paying, liking the videos, watching all of the ads, and watching the entire video helps out more than you know. So that's what I've got. If you want to check everything else out. Oh, forgot Pitches Be Crazy, guys. I forgot Pitches Be Crazy. Let's do that real quick. What am I doing? Number 1, Jake Irvin at Colorado. Colorado strikes out 10.83 times per game. They strike out 10 times a game at home. Number 2 is Jesus Luzardo, the Jesus Lizard, versus, maybe he rises today, guys. Maybe that's a sign. The Jesus Lizard rises today on Easter versus Miami, 10.05 times per game, 12 times on the road. Joe Ryan, number 3, at Atlanta. Atlanta strikes out 9.84 times per game, 9 times a game at home. Yusei Kikuchi's number 4 versus San Francisco Giants. The Giants strike out 9.7 times per game, 10.57 times on the road. And number 5 is Sean Burke at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.67 times per game, 8.38 times a game at home. I'm probably off Sean Burke, though. Don't trust him enough. Doesn't strike out enough people. If it's low and you could find like over under like 2.5 or 3.5, maybe we take that one. But I might be off of that one. So there you go. Number 1, Jake Irvin. 2, Jesus Luzardo. 3, Joe Ryan. 4, Yusei Kikuchi. And number 5 is Sean Burke. That's what I've got in this video. Let's have a fantastic Sunday. Sports betting, DFS, Easter, family time, whatever you're doing. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.